I'm glad to hear that, because I noticed that we women in the past, and we are at such a great, I know we've talked about this and what angle you're coming from and I'm coming from, we're all creating new territory. How do you create this? How do you even talk, think, or act nowadays? It's I mean, obviously we know certain things, but I'm talking about this new territory we're coming across, this new territory of aliveness, that we are alive. We are living longer. We are not even longer. We can live better than we did. We have the ability to do it. And how do we, and which I know you are changing that thinking of, okay, now what? How do we get that? And how do we stay motivated? How do you keep that motivation when you think you can't see out of a bag?
Yeah. Well, it's a great question. And I think part of, the development of this iteration for me with the art of aliveness is that, I'm very vibrant, and it is years of practices. I have practices, I have habits. I think that's the big thing, that we can harness that. And I started to do research in brain science. I'm certified in a program from Yale called The Science of Well-Being. Who was in the course with me, interestingly enough, and I found out that it's now part of a required course for freshmen at Yale, which blew my mind. You think about, you've got 17, 18, 19-year-olds, the best and the brightest, who are being taught about how to manage their lives, how to have energy, how to be alive, how to be happy. The perception of you're 19, you're 20, you're at Yale. Oh my goodness, you've arrived. And the suicide rate, the depression, all of that's going on. So it's a multi-generational conversation that if we maybe started younger, I feel that, there's been a path that I've been on, that a chosen path, that, and because it's all been about creativity, which to me is the access to aliveness, being connected to that. And how do we stay happy? How do we inhabit inhabit ourselves? It's kind of like an inside out phenomena, but it's, how do you, I don't have an answer. This is the work that I do. How do you create and roll with the flow? And then there are tools and techniques that one can actually learn. And I've really gotten very interested just in the whole, the neurons firing and neurologic patterns and pathways. It takes it out of the realm of emotion. And when I actually understand, like, oh, I can actually impact that. I'm not stuck with anything. And sometimes, it's like, okay, there's habits. And something that I saw in Scientific American years ago was habits are one of the hardest things to change. And, there's neuronal troughs. So that's, we have a lot of the way our bodies work that keep us stuck in certain patterns. It's not personal.
I want to interject there because I want to be sure people also, especially my audience, are getting the idea that, because a lot of times they do get stuck. They do get stuck in the feelings, and that it seems like the world is just going to be the way it is forever. And when we can take it out of that context and take it into, those are your neurons acting up. Just practice. It sounds kind of like, just throw a hamburger on, but it really, these are the neurons. But to take it out of this emotional upheaval and to get some detachment, and that's I know why we talk about, of course, about the exercise, about releasing the energy, but getting that stuff going again so that we can open our brains. And this is so important, what you've shared. And I want to be sure that the audience is getting that, because I think that this is something that can help all of us when we feel that overwhelm of, am I really big enough for this?
Yeah.
And take it.
Is it okay if I share a little tip or a little practice? It's really,
we love it. Well, sure. What, as a matter of fact, I mean, there's so much you have to share, but please share also what you can offer our audience. I mean, we could go on for days because she has a wealth of information, incredible, extensive background over many, many years. Please share what is on your heart today to share with us.
Well, one of the one of the things that's helped me a lot in, and as Jody just said there, I mean, the last 7 years of my life have been an incredible journey of health and wellness. And I'm 4 years out of treatment for a breast lesion and surgery and chemotherapy and radiation. And all of the things that I bring, you know, they're really not theoretical. There are habits and practices and a lot of support. But I love the question when you said about collaborators, that my health, well-being, all of that has been a team effort. So that is one of the things that I've learned along the way, is the power of support and team. And I think that that's maybe one of the lessons of maturity, Jody, is that we're not in this life alone, and doing it alone, you know, there's nothing to prove. I've already done, you know, it's kind of a been there, done that. And having love and support, and love especially around me, is as healing as anything, and regenerative and part of aliveness. And one of the things in neuroscience is that we are Teflon for the negative, and take a look for yourself and everybody who's listening and watching. We're Teflon for the negative. No, we're Velcro for the negative and Teflon for the positive. And there's a 3-to-1 ratio, and you can practice. And this is like really a gift right here to notice anytime that, and it's neurophysiologic, and our brains are designed to survive. So when we were out there with the woolly mammoth, that fielding and being in relationship with the environment, which was a hostile environment, you needed to survive, to keep your eyes open for the threats. We'll call those the negatives. That's not the world that we're lived in, but our brains are still primitive. So we will attach to, out of survival, and it's worked because we're all here, the negative. So it's to notice whenever there's negatives, for every one negative that you say to yourself, that's the, oh my goodness, I don't think I can get out of bed. Oh my gosh, how am I going to get through this? As a negative thought, then to consciously shift to 3 things that are great about you, about your life. It could be that the sun is up. It could be anything. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's a conscious choice in the moment to notice the negative, and that the negative doesn't mean anything. It's not true. It's like, thank you, brain. Thank you for doing such a good job. Now, where do I want to focus? And there's a saying, what you focus on expands. But we are designed to focus on the negative for survival. So it's a good thing. You know, it's when you're out, you know, I used to live in Boston. That was a very useful set of skills to stay safe. You know, I was aware and awake of what might be of danger in my environment, but that's not the environment I'm in. So I hope that offers something to people, because it's just really easy. It's called the 3-to-1 ratio.
That is
something we can practice any time of the day, but it takes being aware. That's always, I think the first thing is always the willingness to be aware and to tune in.
That is a super tip. And also we will post that. Is there something else that you would like to offer to get our audience more of an idea of how you can help them today?
So one of the things that, and Jody will post my email address, I would love to give everybody my Art of Aliveness and Happiness quiz. And the thing that's so much fun about it is that it'll give you a snapshot of how happy and alive you are right now, and for no reason. Because a lot of, you know, being alive and being vibrant, and I think having gone through treatment and really confronted, will I live through this or not, gave me the opportunity to say, you know, okay, I'm going to put myself through that. I know I'll be fine. Well, on behalf of what? You know, there was no necessary reason that I don't have children. You know, I'm not one of those people. I don't have kids. I don't have grandkids. You know, a lot of the things, well, I'm going to live for this or that. It was really, well, because it's a choice. You know, I choose life. I choose to be alive, and then go be alive, if that makes any sense. So that's the spirit of the quiz, you know, because we look so much outside of ourselves for reasons to be happy, for reasons to get up in the morning. well, what if we would just get up in the morning and take on our lives just because that's what it is to be alive? There's a difference between alive, which we all are, which is breathing, and aliveness. So this is a quiz and an opportunity to go poke around and discover something. And then I'll also have some great bonuses that I'm offering with the quiz. So please go visit my, email me and I will send you a whole package. And in May, I don't have the calendar date, but my plan is my spring into spring aliveness course. And it'll start in mid-May. And if you're interested in that, I can also get you information.
And that sounds so powerful. Is this all going to be on Zoom? Just double check.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter where you are in the States or in the world. And I'm just
correct.
Reiterating that, which I think is an extremely important thing. I don't know where our time goes because there's so many topics, especially about the cancer. I really want to get into that in another conversation with you. Is there some parting quotes that you would like to share with us? And if so, why? Why those today and why those now?
So I think that, and thank you for asking. All right, so I have two. One of them I found in preparation, and I don't know who wrote it, but I think for all of us, this is the thing where it's age is a multi-generational conversation. Maybe when we're young, we all, when we're 16 and they think we're 16 or 12, at some point, I always love if I go into a liquor store and they card me. I thank them for carding me. I'm so honored to be carded. But striving to look younger than I am doesn't work for me. It feels like self-betrayal. Plus, accepting my age feels really good. It makes me happy. I think I look my best when I'm happy. And one of the questions that I've been posting is, what would it be like to live your life being simply irresistible, irrepressible, irreplaceable, and vital? So that's what we can call an Annism. And then I think the one that I really love is a quote by Martha Graham, who choreographed and danced into her she was still dancing into her 70s and continued to choreograph. And it's a quote, there's a vitality, a life force, a quickening that's translated through you into action. And there is only one of you in all time. This expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium and be lost. So we have a lot to say. We have a lot to contribute. And part of that vitality is harnessing and connecting to that, whether we call it, the God of your understanding, the divine spark, spirit, whatever it is, that there's something about being connected to that that's all part of, to me, the art of aliveness, the key to vitality. And just remembering this, Jody, there's only one you, there's only one me. And, it's not, one of the things Martha Graham says is, it's not our business to determine how good it is or how right it is. It's our business to be out there, be vital, be alive, bring it to the world.
That is so powerful and profound. And it also helps remind me that it doesn't always mean that I'm going to see a burning bush every 5 minutes. Maybe, just maybe, the fact that maybe I get some everyday thing done, but pay attention to it and take care and time. Maybe that is where that power also kind of keeps on going and going.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anything else?
Well, for another couple of years, yes, I could go on and on with you, but I think we're at a great.
And Jody, thank you.
Thank you
For having me. It's such a delight to be with you. And, and for everyone that you're touching, and that you have this platform, I am grateful. And I think everybody who's watching and who is subscribing to your YouTube channel and is following you will only benefit from everything that you are sharing and bringing forth for all of us. Wow. Your voice is our voice. So thank you.
Thank you. I just thank you. Thank you very much.